I don't know how I got here.
Perhaps I've lost my mind.
If you love the epic fated romance of Outlander Blood of My Blood, but you sometimes need the charming, light-hearted fun of Bon Appetit Your Majesty, then here are 13 amazing shows and movies that combine history, time travel, and epic love. 1. Mr. Queen. It follows a modern-day male chef whose soul is transported into the body of a Joseon dynasty queen. Now trapped in the queen's body, he has to handle political schemes, manage the royal kitchen, and deal with the queen's complicated husband. It's absolutely chaotic and hilarious, but the political intrigue manages to balance that out. Plus, the female lead does a great job of delivering both comic relief and emotional depth. 2. Rooftop Prince. The show is about a Joseon-era prince who's transported 300 years into the future to modern-day Seoul after the death of his beloved crown princess. He ends up on the rooftop apartment of a woman who looks exactly like his deceased sister-in-law, and we follow as he attempts to find the truth behind the princess's death, all while trying to adjust to 21st century life. It's an incredibly charming show that is driven by the amazing chemistry between the leads. And the historical murder mystery from the past ties beautifully into the present-day plot, so it makes time travel feel essential to solving the central puzzle. 3. Kate and Leopold. In this movie, a 19th century duke accidentally time travels and is stranded in modern New York. So he teams up with an ambitious advertising executive to figure out how to get back to his time without permanently messing up history. Like the first two entries, it's a funny and heartwarming escape that revels in the best kind of rom-com tropes. 4. The Time Traveler's Wife. This limited series tells the story of Claire, who is married to Henry, a time traveler who's involuntarily yanked through time to random and unpredictable moments and places. Like Henry's ability, the story itself is non-linear and constantly jumps around their timeline. So you have to puzzle out when they're meeting and who knows what. It's a gorgeous and beautifully produced show that focuses entirely on their relationship and the emotional toll this uncontrollable time travel takes on it. 5. Marry My Husband. It centers on Kang Ji-won, a woman with a terminal illness who discovers that her husband and best friend are having an affair. When she confronts them, her husband kills her, but instead of dying, she wakes up 10 years in the past. Knowing how miserable her future becomes, she decides to change her fate by getting her husband and best friend to marry each other instead. While the romance can sometimes feel a bit secondary to the revenge plot, the whole show is still an absolutely enjoyable and addictive watch. 6. Lovely Runner. It follows Im Sol, a devoted fan whose life was saved by the music of a famous idol. When he tragically dies, Sol gains the ability to jump back in time, and her only goal is to prevent his death. But every intervention she makes creates new and unpredictable ripples in time. This central plot of a fan racing against time to manipulate a seemingly fixed future gives the show high-stakes tension and makes it really intriguing. 7. When We First Met. It follows a man named Noah who stumbles upon a magical photo booth and uses it to travel back to the day he first met his crush. He tries to finally win her over, but he keeps ending up in different timelines with different and often disastrous outcomes. So we watch as he repeatedly jumps back to pinpoint the exact moment he made the wrong move so he can successfully rewrite his romantic destiny. It's the perfect feel-good watch, and the cast does a fantastic job of grounding the craziness of the movie's premise in genuine emotion and humor. 8. The King, Eternal Monarch. The show centers on King Lee Gan, whose lifelong search for his father's killer leads him to a mysterious portal that transports him to a parallel world. There, he meets a detective whose face is an exact match for one on an identity card he's carried since childhood. It has an incredible high-budget feel, and since the characters in one world have a parallel self in the other, watching the cast play these vastly different roles is one of the show's biggest draws. 9. Love Across Time. It follows Chelsea, an American real estate agent who discovers a strange portal hidden within a dilapidated Georgian estate she's inspecting. The portal allows her to look back into the late 1700s, but a literal bump in the timeline causes the estate's original owner to stumble through and get stuck in the present day. So now the pair must figure out a way for him to safely return home and save his historic estate from demolition in the present. It's a warm and refreshingly non-spicy romance with two leads who share fantastic chemistry. 10. The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. In this movie, two teenagers find themselves in a separate but shared time loop where they live the same day over and over. After they meet, they decide to work together and map out all the tiny, beautiful things that happen in their repetitive day with the hope of finding a way out. Unlike the initial panic of some of the earlier shows, the protagonists here have already mastered their time loop. And beyond the romance, the story touches on themes of grief, how difficult it is to move on, and the fear of having to return to normal life. 11. See You in My 19th Life. It centers on a woman who is currently on her 19th reincarnation. She fell in love in her 18th life, but she died too early. So in this new reincarnation, she uses all her accumulated skills and experience to win the heart of the man she loved. The lead actress does an amazing job of delivering the emotional depth of the show, and the mystery surrounding the tragic end of her 18th life is compelling enough to keep you hooked. And since it's a K-drama, you can expect stunning aesthetics and a soundtrack that pulls at your heartstrings. 12. Providence Falls. This one focuses on Cora, a modern-day detective plagued by strange dreams where she's a woman from 1800s Ireland. These dreams all end with her falling to her death while fleeing with a charming thief named Liam. Liam is in an in-between place, but he's taken out and sent to the present day with the specific task of pushing Cora toward another man. Together, the two of them must solve a present-day mystery that is tied to their tragic 19th century fate. It's a short show that provides a quick and satisfying dose of romance and time travel, though it does have some not-so-subtle religious undertones. Keeping with the theme of reincarnation, this last recommendation is about a woman who dies a grim, messy death after she repeatedly falls for the wrong guy and is then reincarnated a century later. The main concept being that destiny is a burden that must be broken. So the lead desperately tries to avoid repeating her romantic mistakes in order to break the cycle of love, death, and reincarnation. It's an eccentric and refreshing anti-rom-com take on the entire time travel genre. And there you have it. 13 incredible ways to get your fix of historical drama, time travel, and romance. Let me know which one you're starting with in the comments and subscribe for more.